learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you. Disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. When your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their family.
What the hell happened? All right, we're done with that. The hell with Trump. We would like to welcome everyone to the Ed Odd Show. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian. Over there is Nate.
Hello.
We're in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. Where at, Nate?
Kentucky.
Can you turn up my volume on my headphone just a bit?
Your volume in your...
We are in Kentucky. Are we?
I think so.
It's too bad we're not in Tennessee, where I purchased this great knife I'll talk about later.
What were you doing in Tennessee?
I wasn't. I was on the internet. So I was in virtual Tennessee.
You were everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Like God. You know, I'm everywhere and nowhere.
Not anything like God, but...
God-like.
I understand. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Let's see. We want to mention our book, My Parents Open Carry. Go to Amazon.com. Check that out. It's a great kids book on open carry, concealed carry, and gun safety and gun rights. Also, there's some company that does T-shirts, Chug Dug. Check them out if you want. How's that for a good promo?
Did you know... I got a question. Oklahoma City's airport is named for what popular cowboy comedian?
Will Rogers.
That's it.
All right. So February 28th is National Chocolate Souffle Day.
I don't have any.
No, I wish we did.
I thought you would have brought some. That would have been fitting.
I've never had a chocolate souffle, but it was the height of French decadence. I heard it's delicious. Very
I think I've had
it.
And souffle.
It's souffle, yeah. Airy. Probably kind of like a mousse. Anyways, that's February 28th. Also the last day in February. We're going
this year.
We're going into March, and it's cold and snowy in the Great Lakes state of Michigan. Also, this isn't the trivia question, but it should be, Nate. This is for you. Stop playing with your phone.
I was looking at
You're looking at your Amazon sales. I get it. All right. So, what day does Fat Tuesday fall on?
Wednesday?
No.
Monday.
Now you've got 5 more guesses?
Saturday?
Fat Tuesday falls on a Tuesday.
Tuesday. Right. Okay. What about it?
It's next Tuesday.
I know. That's exciting.
Are you going to get some Polish punchkis, pastries?
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder, is that a thing all over the country, or is that just a Midwestern thing, or is it even more local than that? The donut filled with fruits and custards.
I think it's
things.
pretty regional.
Think so?
Yes.
I bet you can get.
We talked about the whole history of it last year.
We did?
I don't remember it.
I don't remember a damn thing about punchkis.
Very clearly.
No, you're suffering a head cold.
Yeah. That's okay. The show must go on, Brian. I'm not complaining like you.
But Fat Tuesday is a celebration before what day?
Wednesday.
For the Christians.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it is?
Lent Day?
Lent Day.
Ash Wednesday?
It's the beginning of Lent the next day, so they party like there's no tomorrow on Tuesday because they have to fast and reduce the things that they like to do and be good Christians for at least, a month or so.
But fish is good.
They can eat fish.
So that's good.
And maybe a platypus. I don't know. They're kind of aquatic. Anyways, Easter is on April 21st.
Kind of aquatic.
Yeah. So, how do they determine what day Easter falls on? Because it doesn't fall on the same day.
It's super complicated.
It's incredibly
We
complicated.
did not even talk. Yeah,
you need to be an astronomy.
It is real complicated.
It's really easy. So it's the first Sunday. Got it?
Okay.
After the full moon, following the vernal equinox.
Right. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler.
It's pretty simple. It's late this year. It's usually earlier.
It is
sometimes.
real late this year.
But, that vernal equinox and the full moon, they just don't want to participate very well. They can be feisty. So April 21st, probably the most important, other than the birth of Christ, probably the most important Christian observance and holiday is Easter.
The good news about it being late this year is that the Easter Bunny has more time to prepare.
Not only that, they don't have to shovel snow.
For the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
We have lots of bunnies that run outside the studio. They don't care about the snow.
And you know what else you have outside your studio?
No, I don't. What do I have?
White-tailed deer.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You're lousy with them.
A lot of them.
Wow.
And
they come up. That one was eyeing the security camera like,
they're getting real bold. It was on, right at the bottom of our steps to our porch, just like, hey. And then the other one was taking a dump in the middle of the yard.
I suggested you take a picture of your downstairs freezer, what's inside, and post it out there as a warning.
Lots of venison in there.
Frozen venison.
And it should be clear, the studio is not in a rural area. It's in the middle of a subdivision.
Right. It's pretty, a lot of people around.
It's not, natural deer habitat. Well, it probably used to be natural deer habitat.
Well, of course it did.
It's
used to be natural human habitat, too.
And the closest wooded area is a ways away. I mean, it's not too super far, but it's not like our backyard is woods.
There's a golf course fairly close. They like.
Oh, that's mild. I mean, there are some wooded areas closer than that.
They don't need a lot of woods anymore. They've adapted to living in basements.
No kidding.
Garages.
Yeah, no kidding. We should let one in.
That'd be a mess. Yikes. Let's see. Oh, I did the Home Defense Show with Skip Coryell on the Home Defense Network. Yeah, he didn't ask you, did he?
I did it last year.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. I'd like
he
to
didn't ask you, did he?
No, he didn't. Darn it. Well, anyways.
But he told me early last week, I think it was, he said.
You turned him down.
He said, I've really run out of good guests to ask. Mm-hmm. But, I guess I'll ask Brian.
But he didn't ask you, so I'm.
Because he already asked me, because I was one of the good guests.
I see.
He's all done with good guests. He's moving on to the B team, the second tier, as it were.
You can't hurt me anymore, Nate. You can't hurt me anymore.
Can I see that knife?
The YouTube audience can see the knife.
It's a nice knife. It's worth watching the video.
So I did the show. We talked about open carry, concealed carry. We talked about red flag laws and lots of stuff. Skip seemed to really enjoy me. I don't know why. Has he been ill lately?
Yeah. He's also a really gracious host.
He is a very nice guy. He's the
pretend like he likes anyone.
He's the founder of the Second Amendment March and all that stuff. He's an author, has dozens and dozens of books that he's written, as well as a publisher. He's got like 220 titles now that he's published.
One of them, former bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah, My Parents Open Carry, a great kids book. But anyways, if you want to check that out, you can hear me talk with Skip and discuss some of that stuff.
And if you'd rather not listen to that, but still want to check out Skip's show, you can.
Yeah, he's got other shows. He's
got
hundreds of other shows you could listen to. Did you watch the Oscars?
I'm sure you did a great job. I
did do a great job. Of course I did.
I mean, I listened to it. You did great, Brian.
Thank you. You didn't listen to it. I didn't even listen to it. Did you see the Oscars or any part of the Oscars? I watched a little bit.
The Oscars happened?
The Oscars were last Sunday, and I was kind of shocked, being liberal Hollywood, how many U.S. white males won awards.
The absence of diversity? The homogeneity?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about white privilege. I mean, it was really obvious during the... Wait a minute. I read that wrong. Of all of the awards, there were only like 5 or 6 white males. All the rest went to women, foreign males, and ethnic groups. That seems odd.
I don't know if it's odd.
Well, I think it's the white privilege working against them.
Against who?
The white U.S. male.
Oh.
Maybe the U.S. white males didn't make any movies this last year. That could be it. Maybe the only people making movies now are ethnics and females.
Yeah, not sure.
I'm being sarcastic because I want to make the point that screw Hollywood and their politically correct agendas.
Did you see, it was either Babylon Bee or The Onion, probably Babylon Bee. They had the headline, Americans shocked to find out the Oscars happened last night.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I actually didn't, I heard it was coming, but I didn't know.
I didn't watch much of it. I turned it on a little bit. I watched the beginning, and then I saw where it was going. My wife watched it, and every once in a while I go, up. No white males won so far. Oh, nope, they didn't win that one either. Nope.
Ow.
Sorry, did I kick you?
Yes.
I didn't mean to. I can stab you now because I have a knife. You want to talk about the knife?
No, there's something. I don't remember what I was going to say.
I got this. I'm hooked on the Knife Show, Cutlery Corner, that's on Dish Network and on DirecTV and stuff. It's like all day Saturday and all day Sunday. There's nothing else on, so I listen to them all day long. Well, I have it on in the background. And I've been doing it a couple of years, and I enjoy the show, and I like some of the knives. And I know that most of them are cheap and not well made, and they have some nice knives on occasion. But this one was nice. It was $14. It's real stag. It's a small little knife, and it has a little leather
that
sheath
came with it?
That came with it.
Oh,
that's worth
nice.
That's worth $15.
Yeah, wow.
Like I'm selling knives now. And I just like it because you can stick it in your hunting coat if you want. You put it in your hunting backpack, or if you've got a hunting fanny pack or whatever. I got it from my brother, really, because he shot a deer once and forgot his knife a mile from the road. And he was dragging his deer.
Oh, he drugged the deer.
Yeah,
wow.
Without it being field dressed.
So
I want
take it and hit it on the table and see if any. Oh, I meant like the blade, and see if you're ever bored and you want to watch people stab themselves, you can look up the bloopers from Cutlery Corner.
Yeah,
that's amusing.
They've had a few blades fly.
Oh, they got me.
Oh, it got me. Can we get the EMTs in here?
And then the backup just steps in. He's like, "Well, we have these other knives."
They're made by Frost Cutlery, and he bought a lot of brand names out and kind of cheapified them. A lot of them are made in China. This one was made, or the blade at least, was made in Pakistan. But having said that,
it's got that Pakistani stag.
It's a thick blade.
Yeah.
It goes all the way through the stag. It's nice looking. It's small and compact.
You can get enough penetration if you.
I think for $14, I won't be sad if I lose it or it gets stolen.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty good, and it's going to get stolen pretty soon. I think tonight.
Okay, good.
You ever watch Forged in Fire?
I've seen parts of it. Yeah, where they make different weapons and things.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Somebody asked.
Good.
You've seen it.
Good thing. Yeah. All right. Speaking of Forged in Fire. Alexandria Cortez, or whatever her name is, AOC.
Insulting, but okay.
Didn't she make a statement?
Oh, yeah. It was just funny. It's no surprise from a socialist communist turning into a
fascist.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a tweet or something.
It was about the Green Deal.
The Green New Deal. Oh, if you don't like the Green New Deal, why don't you come up with
something
your
better?
own?
Yeah.
Because we're in charge, and
right.
you're just yelling from the sidelines or whatever it was. You're not really in charge. I don't know. I don't know if she knows how it's supposed to work, but kind of, she's a public servant,
right?
Right.
She does have limitations.
Also, there ain't no one that really believes what she says and cares that much.
I don't think anybody really. Well, no, come on.
The people.
There are a few.
The leadership in.
Oh no, they're laughing at her.
Yeah, like
on
Nancy
both sides
Pelosi.
of the aisle.
Oh
yeah,
right. So you're not really in charge of much.
There are some constituents of hers, I'm sure, that think she's
well, she
wonderful.
got voted in,
right?
I think
that doesn't take much in New York.
No, clearly, it doesn't take much.
If they like you, you're in.
She's a pretty good dancer.
Did you?
Something. I wonder. You think she was a good bartender?
I don't think so. No, but she was nice to look at. You know, she grew up really, really poor, and she had to. Oh no, wait a minute. She went to Boston College, which is a very expensive Christian Catholic school.
How expensive? Look,
$200,000.
I completely reject the notion that if she went to a high-priced school that she didn't grow up poor. I think that's ridiculous because poor people go to expensive schools all the time.
Yeah, but they don't run for Congress. They want to tell me what to do, and that you
Sure they do.
That you shouldn't.
Sure they do.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay, you're right. Okay,
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
saying we've never had somebody that grew up poor that ended up
being
being
president of the
elected in
United States?
government?
No, that's never happened.
I think it has happened.
No, never.
George Washington wasn't rich.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah.
All those early ones were pretty rich.
Yeah, they were. They were doing all right.
We'll have a presidential trivia question coming up.
I'm just saying. I don't think because she went to Boston College means anything about how she grew up.
You're right. Absolutely right. I mean, look at me. I grew up in upper middle class family, and I went to a mediocre public university, and graduated debt free.
Well, see, I mean that's part of the difference. But she worked through school. She was a bartender, and she probably got good tips.
I think she got scholarships.
Oh, and scholarships.
I'm sure she did.
So her rich dad, architect or whatever he was,
he died when she was a kid.
Oh,
she was raised just by her mother.
She
was kind of poor.
Huh. So don't be a jerk.
I can be a jerk if I
I
want
like her.
to.
I'm voting for her.
For president.
Whatever she runs for,
she will.
She got my vote.
Did you see the latest picture of her? You know how she's down on cattle and she doesn't like the cow flatulence and all that stuff.
Well, because of the global warming.
Global warming. But there's a picture of her and her boyfriend in a really nice Washington,
It's not her
D.C.
boyfriend. It's her chief of staff.
Her chief of staff eating hamburgers in a nice restaurant.
From cows?
I'm assuming they're emus. Emu meat.
But here's the thing: the cow he's eating isn't farting anymore.
No, it's not.
So
those emus, though, they don't fart too much either.
Do you think she farts?
I think she does, and I bet they're smelly.
All that kale
and Brussels sprouts.
Tiny.
I think she
cabbages.
farts like a cow from eating all that vegetarian stuff. And I think when she does, she smiles and grins. Wait a minute. Now I'm thinking of that.
Well, let's move on.
Okay, you want to move on? Fine. Pick something.
Donald Trump was in
Vietnam.
Vietnam. That's right. He was in Vietnam. Did you see his tweet where he got there and he wasn't there very long and he said, "I've now spent more time in Vietnam than Senator Blumenthal." The guy who said he was, the Vietnam vet,
and the Nathan Phillips, the
I
Native
think
American.
he included them both.
Yeah.
But like that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's president and he tweets things like that, and I love it. And that's why people like him, and that's why he'll be reelected.
Well, not everybody
in
likes him. as
2020.
We'll talk about.
Everybody likes him.
So, did he
was
go
there
to
to
North?
meet? He was there to meet with Rocket Man, Kim Jong-un,
Yeah,
leader of North Korea. They were having a summit.
beautiful leader,
Yeah. I mean, he's got nice hair.
glorious leader.
He's got nice hair. Yeah. We don't have anything bad to say about him because we're scared. We're not allowed. But
What you said? He walked away from.
So they were there to talk about making a deal to denuclearize North Korea.
Okay.
North Korea, Kim Jong-un asked for some of the sanctions that we have on them to be lifted, and Trump said nope and walked away. It wasn't dramatic from what he said. It was not like he just
Stormed out
tipped the table over
like he's done in other
and
places.
ran out. But yeah, which I think is a good strategy. But he said no, he's not. He doesn't want to lift sanctions. So I think that's good. But the thing, it's a weird thing because it's not weird. But if you read any of the mainstream media or watch it or whatever, they say Trump lost. Like he got bested by the North Korean leader. But he's done so much more with North Korea than any president.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good tactic, first of all, to walk away. And it says something about Trump that he didn't make a deal just so he would maybe have positive press.
The mainstream media would bitch if he crapped out gold bars and paid off the U.S. debt with them. I mean, they'd make something derogatory or negative about it.
Well, what some of the media was saying before he went was he's going there just to make a bad deal to take the attention off the Cohen things. And he didn't go there and make a bad deal, so that blew that story out of the water. So now they're just saying, oh, he lost. He was bested. Kim Jong-un's a better negotiator than Trump.
Well, if he was a better negotiator, he'd have some sanctions lifted.
Yeah, and maybe his people would have food.
Yeah, well, that's not a priority. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, he has plenty of food, right?
Sure. Well, look at him.
See his limo? Yeah, look at. Yeah, he hasn't missed too many meals.
Not
anyway.
too many. He likey the ricey. Was that racist?
I'm still. I said this the last time they met. I'm still. I think the way for Trump to guarantee that he gets reelected as many times as he wants to be is the next time he meets with him, if he just punches him in the nose.
Yeah.
Unlimited elections for Trump.
Well, yeah, but what would the mainstream media say about
It
that?
wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but what would they say?
It wouldn't matter. As long as it gets it on video and it's leaked, it doesn't
Trump
matter.
should be arrested and spend time in a North Korean prison.
It'd be amazing.
All right.
And I'm willing to bet that our Secret Service is better than Kim Jong-un's security. So there's no problems there. I think it'd be great. That's all. There's really not much there, but
well, I've got. We're going to move on to the Cohen testimony before Congress.
Okay.
Congress was really happy to have someone that has already been convicted about lying to Congress back to talk some more, but this time he's going to tell the truth.
Doesn't that tell you the whole story?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, isn't that the whole story of what's going on here?
And Cohen is a piece of crap. I mean, this man is a horrible attorney. He has no class. He has no ethics. He's throwing Trump under the bus. He's trying to, I don't know, get a movie deal, book deal, something.
I'm not sure what he's trying to do because he's got a couple-year prison sentence coming up.
I think, yeah, it's 3 years maybe? I don't know.
2 or 3, I'm not sure, but
he'll get out on good behavior.
Jeez.
Maybe Trump will pardon him. No. So I have a minute 45 seconds of his opening statement.
I think a Trump pardon would have been the right path for him to go after in the beginning. That's what he should have done. That would have been his best chance, is to like, be loyal to Trump, and he probably would have gotten a pardon.
Yeah, he might have. All right, so
what are you doing?
I'm going to try to play the soundbite.
Oh,
hopefully
good.
an ad doesn't jump in there.
Well, if it
Mr.
does,
Trump is an enigma. He is complicated, as am I. He is both good and bad, as do we all.
is he from Brooklyn?
But the bad far outweighs the good. And since taking office, he has become the worst version of himself. He is capable of behaving kindly, but he is not kind. He is capable of committing acts of generosity, but he is not generous. He is capable of being loyal, but he is fundamentally disloyal. Donald Trump is a man who ran for office to make his brand great, not to make our country great. He had no desire or intention to lead this nation, only to market himself and to build his wealth and power. Mr. Trump would often say, this campaign was going to be the greatest infomercial in political history. He never expected to win the primary. He never expected to win the general election. The campaign, for him, was always a marketing opportunity. I knew early on in my work for Mr. Trump that he would direct me to lie to further his business interests. And I am ashamed to say that when it was for a real estate mogul in the private sector, I considered it trivial. As the president, I consider it significant and dangerous. But in the mix, lying for Mr. Trump was normalized, and no one around him questioned it. In fairness, no one around him today questions it either.
So I'm just curious about a couple things.
Well, he definitely sucked the tit for a long time with Trump.
Yeah.
And he could have left him as soon as he got elected if his ethics was bothering him, and he didn't.
Right.
He's
so
only saying this now after he got caught.
isn't like kind of the whole thing about like collusion with Russia for Trump to win the election? If he didn't want to win the election, why would he collude
Yeah.
to win the election?
Yeah.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, it's just bizarre.
Maybe we shouldn't believe too much of what a convicted liar says, but here are some things that CNN put out there as very significant.
Okay.
And the first statement was, I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist. He is a con man. He is a cheat.
Oh, okay. All right.
Second thing, he was a presidential candidate who knew that Roger Stone was talking with Julian Assange about WikiLeaks drop of Democratic National Committee emails.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was saying, no, I don't know anything about that. But so what if he did? Right? I don't see the problem. It's not like Trump said.
It's not illegal to know.
Right. It's not like Trump said, hey, find something and get Julian on the phone and have him get some emails from the committee there.
But he did say, Russia, please, if you can find Hillary's emails, find them.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So that was perfect.
Well, I think half of America wanted that.
Yeah, right. And also, it was a joke, and I mean, come on.
This is what I like. This is what they think is the smoking gun. A copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account. It says after he became president, but the check in the article I read was dated before he was elected. So, and it was to reimburse him for hush money. Cohen had the check. It's $35,000. They said it was dated August 1st, 2017. Right? He wasn't president then. Right? He was January 2018.
No, he was elected in 16.
Was he?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 16.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 2 years election. Okay. All right. It doesn't matter because the check doesn't say, hey, this is hush money for you. Cohen's making the claim that it was for hush money. But don't you pay your attorney lots of money and write big checks for them to do things for you?
Also, I don't think it's illegal to pay someone money to not tell their story, is it?
No, I don't think so
either. That's the thing. There's nothing here that's a crime anyway.
Right. It might go to integrity.
Oh, sure.
But even so.
Let's talk about that then.
Okay, we will.
Congress shouldn't be investigating integrity.
I like this one. Mr. Trump did not directly tell me to lie to Congress. That's not how he operates. Okay, we're going to believe a liar that says that. Let's see. Oh, there were half a dozen times between Iowa caucus and the end of June where he would ask me, how's it going in Russia? Referring to the Moscow Tower project that he had business dealings there. Okay.
Okay.
So what? Not illegal either. The Clintons have had business dealings in Russia.
They have. Have you seen our uranium anywhere? I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, there's another one's a Moscow thing. Mr. Trump would often say this campaign was going to be the greatest infomercial. We heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Stone told Trump that he had just gotten off the phone with Assad. Yeah, we heard that. Told him blah, blah, blah. So what? Again,
there's
much
nothing.
ado about nothing.
There's nothing, and this guy lied, is convicted. He's going to prison for lying to Congress, and the Democrats in Congress have called him
Are
in.
salivating over this.
For sure.
So I'm not a lawyer. I've never played one on television.
You should.
But he would be called an unreliable witness.
You think so?
Yes.
It's just silly.
All right.
It's just completely silly.
All right. So you've heard of Bill Gates. He's some computer geek or nerd that made money.
Start Apple computers?
I don't know what he started.
Oh.
I don't even know what he does. He's just some rich guy that did something with the internet.
I've heard of Melinda Gates.
Really? Who's
I don't know
that?
if I've heard
Sister?
of Bill.
Mother?
Wife?
Oh, okay. Bill was quoted as saying, people can do the math on a UBI, which is a uniform basic income. All right?
Okay.
That's where everybody gets, 30,000
Yeah, sure.
or whatever. He says, you can do the basic math and figure out what the cost would be, he said. I think we still need to focus on benefits of those in need, those who can't work or who need help. Admittingly, this means identifying those people rather than just writing checks to everyone, and the government does this imperfectly. He's made similar comments a couple of years ago when he asked, he said the U.S. is not rich enough to allow people not to work. Though at the time he added, someday the country will be. I don't know if that's true.
It is.
While Gates doesn't think the U.S. is ready to implement the UBI in the near future, he does think there are ways the government could make the economy, through a tax code, more progressive. Gates has famously said that although he has paid $10 billion in taxes, he doesn't think that's enough.
But, of course, he didn't offer to give more, right?
He's not writing more checks.
Yeah, that's weird.
He says the rich should pay a higher tax.
They can. I'm sure the government would take a donation. It's fine. Go for it. So I'm confused. What's he saying here? It sounds like the first part
On
of
the
this
one
was
hand,
fine.
One hand, we can't afford to pay people a living wage
And we should
and have them do
focus
nothing.
benefits on those in need.
Right?
Okay.
Which we try
That
to
seems
do.
good.
Yep. And
Right,
the other thing is,
reasonable.
to be able to get to the UBI, you got to make the rich people pay more.
Mm-hmm.
But even if the rich pay 100% of their income, still not going to pay for that.
You give everyone $1 or $2.
$1 or $2. That's not
Sure.
a living wage.
I don't know what to tell you, but it could be universal.
I think they want to talk. I think they're talking in the $30,000 a year range.
Yeah. I don't know if the U.S. will ever be rich enough to allow people not to work, whatever that means, but I think technology will enable it. So I think he's right on that part. Let's take a break. I hope you have a trivia question.
Oh, let me look. Oh,
I can open the trivia book.
I do have one. No. I got one here. Okay. So which president of the U.S. was a baccalaureate, or a bachelor, as they say it correctly?
And for bonus points, in August 1974, who became the first president to resign?
On my birthday.
What was your question?
Which president of the United States was a bachelor? There's only one. That's the question.
Is bachelor
Unmarried.
and never married?
Never married, and we'll discuss why.
But what I'm saying is, divorced, you don't become a bachelor again.
Right. Well, I suppose you could.
Well, that based on last week's trivia question,
Right. We're gonna say. Oh, wait a minute. He was married and divorced.
Is this the same answer as last week?
No.
All right, we'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
You know advertising works, and as you listen to this right now, so are others. Advertising on the internet is a proven way to get your message out there. So if you have a business or some message you want to get out, why not advertise on At Odds? Our rates are reasonable, and we can create and record an ad for you at no charge. If you already have a 15, 30, or 60-second audio ad, we can play it on our show. At Odds can be heard on Red State Talk Radio, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can mail us at talk@oddshow.com, and we can discuss and personalize an ad campaign for you today.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
And we know you do.
why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at chugdug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed.
Hey, Billy. Hi, Brad. How you doing? Good. How are you?
Hey, you come here often?
I do.
Yeah, you gonna order a beer or anything?
No, no beer for me. Just water.
Are you sure? What? Why are you drinking water?
Water and vodka.
Oh, I see. No beer. Okay, got it now. Hey, I was listening to that show called The At Odds Show with Nate and Brian. Really good show.
Yeah, I've heard about that show.
Oh, they're funny. Not too bright, but funny.
Yeah, definitely not bright, but they are funny, I heard.
And they're on live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you can listen to it live and you can call in and be on the show, or you can go into the chat and give suggestions and comments and tell them where they're wrong.
I bet you can find them on Facebook.
They're on Facebook and they're on the internet too.
Ooh, they have that on computers.
Yes, they do. And what is the address for their computer thing?
atoddshow.com or facebook.com/atoddshow.
That sounds logical.
All right, bye, Billy.
Bye, Brad.
Horrible.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of like an advertisement for the show that's on, and it's very long. And
Yeah, that's fine.
We should. Okay.
Never play it again?
I think we'd be better off having it played on Fox News or something.
Sure.
So if you could work on
Which
that.
president of the U.S. was a bachelor? I checked. He was not married. He was engaged. Actually,
engaged to who?
A wealthy a socialite, and that was kind of why he was engaged. So we had some guesses. What were some of the guesses?
Oh, William Harding, William Taft. That doesn't make sense. Woodrow Wilson, Coolidge, Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson, Adams, George Washington, Arthur.
Keep telling
Van
people
Buren.
Benjamin Franklin was never president.
Thomas Jefferson, then.
No.
So it wasn't Benjamin Franklin?
No, he was the 15th president of the United States from 1857 to 1861. James Buchanan.
Oh, wow. All right.
He served immediately prior to the American Civil War. He was a member of the Democratic Party. Buchanan is the only president with military experience who did not, at some point, serve as an officer. During Buchanan's presidency, his orphaned niece, Harriet Lane, whom he had adopted, served as official White House hostess. Speculation that he was asexual or homosexual because of his long-time close relationship with the previous 13th Vice President, William King. They lived together for 13 or 14 years until King died of pneumonia. Buchanan was distraught. Lots of people speculated and called him Nancy Boy and all that they were lovers. His family destroyed all the letters between the two. There were some that survived, but there was one that he wrote to a woman that said that he's really lost without him, and he wishes that he could find another man, that he's made several advances to many different men to become his companion, and he's lonely. And he's doomed, he said, to marry some old maid who'll fix his meals and take care of him.
This is going to be someday this is going to be a problem for us as a nation, because we've already had the issue of the media saying Hillary Clinton was the first woman to ever run for president, which is clearly not true.
Right.
Someday,
first gay.
We're going to have. I mean, we had. Someday we're going to have the first openly gay president, and everyone's going to say it's the first gay president, and then there's going to be discrepancies, and what are we going to do?
I don't know. What's odd is Buchanan was the president right before Lincoln, and there were rumors that Lincoln was also bisexual or gay, and that he was in the closet.
Where do you think Lincoln learned everything about politics? Must have been a tall closet too.
This is another president. This on this day.
I forgot the bonus question that I added. So, 74. Who was the first president to ever resign? That one's easy.
You want me to answer it?
Yeah, Gerald Ford. Oh, no, you answer.
No, it was Nixon.
Yeah, it was.
He announced it on my birthday, August 9th.
I'm not a crook.
So on this day in 1844, President John Tyler cruises the Potomac River with 400 other people aboard the U.S. Navy's new steam frigate called the USS Princeton.
Ah, the frigate.
They had lots of diplomats, dignitaries, guests, which included the wealthy New Yorker David Gardner and his two daughters. Now look at this rascal, John Tyler. The 54-year-old Tyler, a recent widower, had fallen for Gardner's youngest 20-year-old daughter, Julia, to whom he had proposed. She had not responded at the time. Now the Princeton carried a brand new, listen to this, 12-inch, 27,000-pound cannon called the Peacemaker.
Wow.
The gun's co-designer, John Erickson, argued with the ship's captain, who wanted to demonstrate the new weapon, over whether it was safe to discharge because he'd feared it had not been sufficiently tested. The captain and his crew were eager to show off the cannon's ferocity, and despite
what's the worst that could happen?
The designer's warning, Stockton insisted on firing the cannon during the Potomac cruise, where the first two volleys sent the crowd into wild applause. Tyler, who was below deck, proposed a toast to the three great guns. The Princeton, which was the boat, the Commander, the captain, and the Peacemaker, that's three.
Okay.
Then the Secretary of War asked for a third firing towards Mount Vernon in honor of George Washington.
Okay.
Now, the captain was somewhat reluctant because he was a little worried, but the Secretary of War was insistent. The third round proved deadly. In the worst peacetime disaster of its time, the cannon exploded, killing several aboard, including Julia's father and two members of Tyler's cabinet. Tyler was halfway up the ladder to the upper deck when the explosion occurred. Julia Gardner fainted when she heard of her father's death. Tyler whisked her off to safety in his arms, and Julia's admiration for Tyler deepened into love, and they were married later that year.
Wow. Was he president at the time?
Yes, he was. That day in history. He was in his 50s. She was in his 20s.
Well, whatever. I don't have any judgment.
No, I'm saying well done, Mr. President. Well done.
Who knew all you needed was a boat to explode?
What do you want to talk about now?
I don't know.
You want to do the real quick, the lawsuit filed by the family?
Oh, this is funny. The Alabama ISIS.
The ISIS bride.
ISIS.
She's seeking to return to the U.S. Now, they want her back, and I had heard something about whether she was a U.S. citizen or not. Because some are saying that she was born in the United States, but her father was a diplomat at the time.
Right.
And diplomats' children that are born on U.S. soil are not U.S. citizens.
That's right.
They're claiming she was born a month earlier when he wasn't a diplomat at the time.
Huh.
So it's for the courts to decide.
That should be pretty easy to prove, shouldn't it?
Yeah, either way, she's a terrorist, right?
No.
Yes, she is.
She's the bride of a terrorist.
No, she's a terrorist.
What did she do?
I think she beheaded some people.
I don't think so.
Yeah, she did.
She did?
And,
really?
Yeah, I think so. And
huh.
If not, she, applauded when they did.
Did she? Then why does she want to come here?
For her children, or for her child. She wants her child to be raised in the United States. She doesn't care what happens to her, but her baby must be here. I get that. So bring the kid here. Give the kid to her family that's in the United States, and she can stay there. All right. Ivana Trump believes in a minimum wage.
Who? Ivanka?
Ivana.
There's a K in there. Who's Ivana? I don't know who that is.
Did I get it? Did I spell it wrong?
Is there another Trump?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did spell it wrong. Ivanka. I thought it was Ivana Hump. Ivanka Trump believes in minimum wage, but no handouts to people that can work. That's all.
Well, she's wrong about minimum wage. So,
not everybody's right.
That's true.
More fake news. This is in our home state of Michigan.
That's really all you had to say about that?
Yeah, Jackson, Michigan.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it? You can.
I mean, do you have any evidence, or can we just say things?
Oh, well, I got a link there that shows
Fox
her.
News, right.
Her. Well, it shows her
Might
tweets.
as well be Snopes.
And there's an interview. I mean, she's on tape saying it. All right, there's video evidence, Nathan. Video evidence. What more do you need?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Next, you're going to say the Earth is flat.
I haven't seen any video evidence that shows it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Let's see. Yeah, I've seen lots of video evidence of a globular Earth.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sure, I have. I've actually seen video evidence of it rotating. If it were flat, you wouldn't see the continents coming and going. There's a lot.
You ever seen a treadmill? It's flat, yet the belt rotates. Moon landing was fake. All right, let's move on.
Speaking of fake, more fake hate. This was Nikki Joy. Nikki Joy is a woman who is a transsexual man and a gay rights activist that actually... What?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to get this straight because it really has confused me recently. Transgender male was female turned male?
I have no idea. That's why I said was a female and now identifies as a man.
And that's transgender.
That's transgender something.
Okay.
Newspaper article says man, transgender man.
Can we trust it?
Well, it's in the news, of course.
Okay. All right.
Nikki Jolly's house burned down in 2017, killing 5 of her pets. The FBI investigated it as a hate crime because she was a gay rights activist and had received threats. She helped open the city's first gay community center, organized the first gay festival, and after 18 years of failed attempts, helped lead a bruising battle for an ordinance that prohibits discrimination against gays. The local paper named her Citizen of the Year, and the attorney said there's no evidence because she was arrested for setting the fire herself. And it's circumstantial for the most part, basically placing her at the time the fire started in her home. Anyways, 2 people who worked with Jolly at St. John's United Church of Christ, where the Pride Center was located, said that he'd been frustrated. The controversy over gay rights had died down, and he wanted to get some more attention.
This sounds a lot like Jussie Smollett.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, but I think she's probably going to get convicted of arson, and he and spend time in a prison but I don't know which one and where. He is married to a woman.
That's a problem, right?
I think so.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about sports, and we see transgender, I don't know, identifying as a woman, dominating
biological
females,
men identifying as women and competing in women's sports.
and dominating because
Track,
biology.
wrestling, yeah.
And you said, well,
What's
what
the
do
point
you
of
do?
having a gender? Yeah,
right.
Having men and women's sports.
And so you think, well, then just combine them, but that's not fair because, again,
Actually,
biology.
I said throw them in a pot and see what stews.
Yeah, that is actually what you said.
Yeah. It would be like what's the dome? Thunderdome. Just let free for all inside.
But again, not fair because of
biology. Yeah, that pesky biology gets.
So someone asked why we're not warning people about Momo. It's because I accidentally watched Momo, and I'm not allowed to tell anybody about her.
Momo. Yeah.
So because I'm worried about what might happen. Also because it's just garbage, and we might warn you next week.
I think not Momo now. It's the hell with Momo. Getting back with this really serious social.
Have you actually seen where Momo came from? Like the
Japanese special effects.
Yeah, have you
doll.
seen it?
What?
Have you seen the actual statue?
No.
It's pretty neat.
I've seen
It's
the
got
head.
like big
long
ostrich
claws
feet or
something.
whatever.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't care. So
You should care.
I'm solving the world's problem on transgender sports. You have a separate category. So you have biological men competing.
That does not solve. Are you kidding me?
No, you do. And so you say,
Okay.
this is it. So if you're a transgender, if you're a man identifying as a woman, then that's who you compete against, and vice versa for women, and that settles it.
That settles it.
You have a separate but equal.
Okay, so I
Where
have
have we
an
heard
idea.
that before?
I don't know if you know anybody that might be involved in some what do I want to call it?
Queer community.
Yeah.
Queer, yeah.
Why don't you go
I do.
ask them if you know anybody? Ask
No.
them, would this be acceptable to you
She would
if
kill
what
me.
we do is lump all of you together, put you in your own category off to the side? Go ahead and ask and see if that settles it, as you say.
How would we transport them to the event?
I don't slingshot. I don't know. What are you asking?
Well, how would you transport large amount of people?
A bus? Airplane?
I'm trying not to say trains.
What?
The Jews, when they took the Jews to the concentration
I
camps
get it. I understand what you're
in freight cars.
I wasn't thinking concentration
No, you weren't.
camps.
I know.
I was thinking that their whole argument is about being included in inclusive sports, and you're saying
it's jock straps and sports bras you'll be needing. Come on, climb aboard. Too early.
That's horrible.
Too soon.
Yeah, that's not funny at all.
Let's change the subject.
To what?
I have a question of law.
Speaking
for
of
you.
Momo.
No,
what?
I have a
you're
question
done
of
with
law.
Momo, then fine.
So everyone sort of remembers this school shooting in Florida, right? This Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Yes.
And the deputy that didn't go in and stop the threat.
Yes.
Scott Peterson.
Yes.
Well, it says here that Florida lawmakers are considering a bill aimed at stripping the former deputy of his pension.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that really a county thing?
Yeah.
Does the state pay the pension?
Well,
or does the county pay the pension?
I think it's like the
could-
mayor of Jackson asking the governor to remove the Jackson County sheriff, right, in Michigan.
Well, you could try to get a sheriff removed. There's a legal mechanism for
That's
that,
a
right?
county
In
thing.
Lown.
Oh no! But they're asking the governor of Michigan to do it.
Yeah,
because I think the governor may have that power.
Might, yeah. So that's
Which
still a
is
legal
ridiculous.
mechanism. Here,
well, the state legislature can pass bills.
Certainly they can, but can they go in and say we're going to take a pension away from this particular person?
They shouldn't be able to.
What kind of power is that? Listen,
it's a show. It's not going to pass, and it's just for show.
I understand that, but it's scary because then they can just go, well, we don't like Nate, and we're going to take his pension away,
Yeah,
and we're the
please
government.
Don't touch my pension. What's a pension?
Your 401k then.
Well, yeah, I'd like to keep that.
He'll be able to keep those, it said. Okay, here's the bill. Pension of retired Deputy Scott Peterson declares that Deputy Scott Peterson, retired from Broward County Sheriff's Office, shall forfeit all FRS rights and benefits due to his wanton or willful neglect in performance of his assigned duties and contravention of his oath of office. Effective date. Here's the other thing. There's a Supreme Court ruling that says police have no obligation, no legal obligation to help anyone.
But that doesn't supersede policy of the department. So if he did violate their policy, that's different. That could affect his employment and retirement, and it did clearly affect his employment. But we're out of time.
Oh, man.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.